Hi guys, welcome back to 40 Plus and Unfiltered. So retirement plan, the big plan. Finally, I feel like I have some understanding and some clarity what I want to do and how I want to go about it. First of all, it's very important to understand, guys, that we're all in different positions. The things that we own in terms of the houses, any debt if you have any, and of course at the same time the understanding of what retirement actually means to you. Because chances are what retirement means to you, it'd be a totally different idea of what the retirement means to me. See, I keep seeing online, and there's loads of videos out there, people from different ages and different financial backgrounds, all talking about retirement like it's that big thing. But they always seem to put the date on it or the amount of years on it. And quite a lot of times you see, how to retire in 10 years or how to retire by the age of 20 or by the age of 30. But what does that actually mean? So what does a retirement actually mean to you or to me in my instance? See, retire by 20. Well, does that mean you just don't do anything after the age of 20 and you want to sit on a beach and drink cocktails all day? Or does it mean something that by age of 30 you want to be able to have no mortgage, have your house? Or do you mean that you want to be going traveling? See, all of that is a totally different thing. And at the time when people do say like, oh, how to make retirement in 10 years or how to retire by 20 or 30, well, to be fair, majority of the people that say own their houses like we do, we can sell the house, pay off the remainder of the mortgage, and then retire, and then live maybe fairly comfortable life somewhere. But again, the question brings into, well, where could you retire? I could suddenly sell a house and we could retire in Thailand or maybe Taiwan or somewhere else. We can retire one of the cheapest places, and chances are we could be actually really, really well off living somewhere like that. But this is, again, brings you down to if you are looking at some of those videos, to actually understand that, yes, you could retire. Anybody could retire, but a lot of things will depend where do you want to retire and what does it actually mean to you and what do you want to do. So let's talk about retirement, what that really means to us as a family. See, I don't see a retirement as just sitting on your bum and doing nothing. Okay, be it whatever age that you are, I still expect to be able to do some sort of work and be able to earn some money one way or the other. What I do want, I want to certainly live comfortably. Okay, I want to still own my property, but I would like to have a little bit more land. Not the land maybe necessarily I have to maintain, but where I can just go out, do what I want to do. I want to grow my own fruits and vegetables. I want to do this comfortably without worrying about any financial implications. At the same time, I want to be able to go traveling. So we almost finished our camper van conversion and I would like to go traveling eventually through UK and then over the time throughout the Europe. And see, then when it comes to retirement age, whatever that may be, I want to still be able to go somewhere that I want, whether to stay there for a long time, maybe for months, maybe for 2, all depending on what we're doing. And again, when we talk about the retirement, it's very difficult. And I think it's difficult for everybody to actually understand where we're going to be or even imagine where we're going to be. Because planning, say, 20 years ahead, it's all well and good, but life doesn't always really go to plan. So to you or to me, it's just to have a basic understanding roughly what you want to do. So as we said, in my opinion or in my instance, I still expect to be able to do some sort of work on have ways or bring in some money, say be it by the age of 50 or 60, whatever time I feel I want to retire. Again, depending on what that means. So Ashley, coming on to the plan, right? The plan that I have, and that's the idea. And by all means, I'm not a financial advisor at all. All the way through our life, we kind of knife and forked our way through the properties, and this is what kind of got us at the places where we're at. So we have a house, we have a mortgage, okay? Our mortgage got about 19 years to go. So technically, it could be mortgage free by the age I'm roughly 60. Okay, but this is not the point. As I said, we could suddenly sell the house, pay off the mortgage, buy somewhere smaller, and have enough money to live, maybe okay. All depending on the prices, because none of us know really what's going to be happening with the interest rates and so on. So the plan is, first of all, okay, to be able to build any kind of wealth is to be able to cut your spending. And again, guys, I've said this, sorry, last time, I'm not a financial advisor. this is how I'm going to be doing. This is my plan. This is my thoughts. And I'm going to be obviously explaining why I'm choosing to do certain things certain way. But again, this is not financial advice. Don't take it as that. It's just me just sharing what I'm doing with you. So anyway, so the first thing is I find is the cutting out the unnecessary things. It's thinking about forward your retirement and understanding the lifestyle I'm going to be having at my retirement. Thing is, like now, when you're still younger, I still want to live in a bigger house right now because we still have a little child. I'm still just only 40 something. I expect still to lead my life in a comfort and enjoy the things that will work for, like having a decent sized house with a little garden and doing stuff. Okay, but I'm looking at this now from the point when I'm going to be getting older. The lifestyle wouldn't be the same, because generally you probably won't be able to maintain the same lifestyle, not with a bigger house. You want generally things to be smaller, a bit easier. Just generally you want to simplify the life. So for me, thinking now about making certain cuts, okay, and we're talking about I would say maybe like a lifestyle cuts. We don't go out a lot by all means. We don't waste money on certain stuff, but again, I'll cover something in a different video. But just to me, simplifying the lifestyle and cutting out unnecessary things, okay? So that'll be one of the parts where you can get extra money. Because a lot of people say, well, you know, you can try to earn extra money. Of course, it's a different matter as well, but it's very important to look at what you have right now and to be able to claw some money back or cut some money. And in some instance, we're talking about, for example, okay, say if you buy your Costa coffee every morning or any other coffee or anything else, if you do this on a daily basis on your commute to work, it's kind of adds up to a lot of money over the time. Not a huge amount of money, but it all adds up. And of course, we're saying, you know, spending your £5 on the coffees is not going to really build you £1 million worth of assets or, you know, or savings. But it is actually not the fact that you're just saving yourself that £5, but it's actually understanding how you can invest that £5, okay, to actually make yourself a little bit more money. So hopefully that makes sense. So the first step to me, you'll be going through and cutting unnecessary expenditure. Okay, so number 2, it will be, yes, then is to start saving extra. Okay, and again, we'll cover this, I think, on a different video, the ways and the means I want to be doing that. And then number 3 will be the investing. So my idea is, okay, so in terms of the pots or the options where to invest, like I said, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So our house will be as a one thing. It's a backup thing, but I don't want to rely on the house solely because nobody knows what's going to be happening. So then we're going to be talking about the savings. I'm going to be looking at the NSNI, which is the premium bonds. And then I'm going to be talking about the stock market and talking about the private pension, right? So this is the 4 things that I'm intending to do, okay? As I said to you before, guys, I do not have a private pension set up because it just hasn't happened. If you want to know the reason why, have a look at the previous video, why I don't have this. I do have the premium bonds already with a little bit of savings in there, nothing huge. I've opened up the stock account for the stock exchange to be able to buy some shares, and I'm going to be doing my pension. See, the idea as I see it is to invest into 4 different areas, and some of them are higher risk, like will be stocks and shares, with potentially higher return. They'll have a pension that again have a higher return than a savings or an S&I potentially, which is a little bit more safer than the stocks and if I invest into the shares, but with a lesser return, sorry, as I said. And then obviously we've got the NSNI, which is a premium bonds that is, it's a very safe investment, but your money won't grow unless you win some money. So it all depends how long you have your money in there for, okay, and it depends really how lucky you are. But see, premium bonds have on average between, well, they actually have 4% as the an average of the winnings, if that makes sense, so what you can get. So if you're an average person with average luck, you probably get 2% return on your investment on a yearly basis. It can be better or it could be worse. See, with the shares, if I invest in specific shares, which I have exact idea of the companies I want to invest in, I could yield a really healthy return of 35% a year on that. Okay, with a pension, we're looking about 4%. Again, of course, it depends on how you invest, how they invest in the pension and what they do with it. And then, of course, you've got basic savings. If you are comparing savings, we're talking about really 2% annually. So anyway, so the point is to invest into a safe place where your money is safe with the very little income or a percentage of interest. And then we're talking about obviously the opposite effect of investing in something a bit higher riskier with the higher return over the long time. I'm not intending to buy and sell shares like on stock market every day. This is not the idea. This is the idea of investing this long term. And then having things like the premium bonds where they're there again long term, but the longer they sit there, there is still this opportunity of them obviously winning some money. See, believe this or not, when I've done a little research, in every place where you look, whether it's the pension or stocks or the shares, there is a little calculating tools which normally gives you some idea of your investment and how, if you are investing and say in a savings account or the pension, it gives you an idea of the interest rate and then compound interest and how much you end up getting roughly after investing, say for 10 or 20 years. And then the same, you got rough calculations for your even if you're buying some shares, for example, you can see the company's growth. You can see or do some research on the projected growth for the company for the time, again, be it a short term or long term. And you can roughly gauge yourself an idea. And whether before I looked at say, well, actually, what could I do? Because you can only really save what you already have, if that makes sense. If we're not looking outside for getting any other sort of jobs where things earn you money, you only have, say, if you only have £200 to save every month, that's all you have. But how you save the money and where you put them seems to be make quite a lot of difference. And whether, like I said to you before, I felt a little bit lost in terms of not having a private pension, and you think, oh my God, what could you do? Could I really sort of save, £200 a month, for example, and then get myself where in exactly in 10 or 20 years? But doing some research, you actually, with a decent investing technique, strategy, and saving, you can actually seem to get quite far. And I'm talking about a couple of 100,000 in say 10 to 15 years if you do know what you're doing, or if you're lucky enough, or if you researched enough and you invest your money in specific places. So this is where literally I'm now heading, is I've got myself 4 little pots or baskets when I'm going to be putting my eggs in. Of course, nobody knows how it's all going to work out, but the point is with that, it's determination. It's determination, and it's finding where they're going to be then also earning your money on what you invest in. So say with the stock markets, if I did buy shares and suddenly the company goes up, say by, shares go up by 50 or by 100%, depending how much you're in there, how much you have in there, you can, if you say doubled your money, if you put £1,000, you got 2,000 say back in say a year or 6 months, all depending. And believe this or not, there are some companies that jump like that. You can take that £1,000 and then put them say in your pension or in a savings account. There is ways and means of the ways and means of moving that kind of money about. So see, as I said to you, I will get the private pension set up, but I think I will be putting only minor amount of money in there. And I mean probably measly £25 a month, maybe £50 a month. I haven't quite decided that 100%. See, a little while back when I've spoken to my accountant, he generally said that the private pensions just won't exist. And we know a lot of things are happening obviously in the world and all together, and with the financial things, whether you're of the dispositions knowing where a certain government agendas are heading or not, obviously is a different matter. But there are talks of the private pension just won't exist for one reason or the other. And it gets you thinking, you could be investing or you could be paying into your pension all those years, and just like with the normal state pension, you'll get bugger all. But if so happens that the systems went down for one reason or the other, you have no access to your money. And I see with the private pensions, you have very little control of what you do with the money. Okay, yes, you can move pensions. You can choose how your money invested in that pension. You have control over that. But this is as far as it goes. Okay, and I'm pretty sure the pensions are different, but the whole idea is the same. You never have 100% full control of where your money is invested, how it's invested, how soon they're taken out, how soon they do the shares, blah, 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 blah. It's nowhere near as accurate or as much as a control you can get by you investing in stocks, or in fact in shares yourself, because you're in full control. You can take them in and out as you please. So this is going to be main, I think, direction where the majority of the savings is going to be going into that. So there we are, guys. So hopefully kind of give you my idea of my plan, the big plan. And I know I got to be sticking with this for now, but first of all, one of the main things, as I said, I'm going to be doing is reevaluating what's important in terms of what you spend your money on. And you'll be very, very surprised, not in terms of the stuff that you buy or how you spend your money, but again, I'll cover this on a different video. So there we are, guys. I hopefully have found this video, not going to say it's helpful, maybe it's not helpful, I doubt it. But anyway, this is just my plan. I just wanted to share with you, and I said to you guys, I'm going to be talking to you about it to see what I'm going to be doing. So the plan is for you as well, if you are just embarking on that journey, understand what the retirement means to you. What do you want to do? And don't always pay attention to this, the people that are talking about, oh yeah, you can retire in 10 years. It generally does mean have heavy investment and heavy savings first and then invest in somewhere else. It's not always as easy as some make up to be, because the situations of everybody are really, really different. And if we are starting like myself with genuine bit of savings and now just, thinking how to knife and fork your way through to your pension, then there we are. So anyway, guys, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe if you're not a subscriber for more videos like that, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.